Hello and welcome to the NASCAR DFS preview show, the Garage Guys NASCAR DFS preview show, live from a hotel room in New Orleans, Louisiana. This show is for the Hollywood Casino 400 and for the first time ever, the Kansas Lottery 300. That's right, we're going to talk a little NASFinity on this show today. By the way, if you're wondering who is this fellow sitting by me right here, well, this is my good friend, Mr. Sue. Mr. Sue, welcome to the show.
It's an honor to be here today. I'm Mr. Sue.
This is Mr. Sue. Mr. Sue, I would like to give you this gift. I know you're a big fan of loose leaf paper. I had some ends that I was able to gather for you.
Who told you that?
Well, it was kind of just your aura, your vibe. I never really knew anyone in the world that liked loose leaf paper. So I figured, the ends of the loose leaf paper are the rarest part. And especially because you're not really big on technology, we know that technology is not always good. So this episode will be very light technology use, so almost technology free.
I grew up on a Quaker farm.
He grew up on a Quaker farm, Mr. Sue did, so there was not a lot of technology there. But he was. Were you Amish for a few months or long time periods, possibly, or just Quaker? Is Quaker a religion?
I was just kind of following suit, and I did that with my family most of my life. But then, when that Jessica Alba Sin City dropped, I left it all because I just had to check it out.
That's what I was wondering. It was kind of like Rumspringer, like for Amish people. Does Quakers have Rumspringer?
I don't know. I was in Cody, Wyoming. That's about all I know.
Right. You ever been to Jackson Hole? Okay. Do you know who Kanye is?
Oh yeah,
He went to Jackson Hole.
I love Ye.
He loves Ye. Cocaine or Kanye? This is a NASCAR show. So tonight we're going to tell you a little bit about some DFS picks that I have chosen. Again, remember this is a technology-free episode, so it will be partially all the data that I've collected will be on in this notebook that I have here, and we will be presenting the drivers to you on Georgia Pacific printer paper. So be advised, but it's going to be great racing. The truck race was this evening. Dale Tanhart did the first ever in history of mankind live stream of a NASCAR truck race, aka Nash trucks, as we call them. Bets did not go great, as I heard, but we still got to stream, so that was cool. And we're going to be streaming the Cup race on Sunday. I'll be a part of that. Again, we are in a hotel room. I may be talking a little lower than normal, and that's because there's a man chronically dying snoring next to us. So I'm just trying to be as polite as I can. It's good to be polite at times.
He was puking earlier, like a bunch of times. That was that's absolutely what was happening. There was no other explanation for that noise.
He vomited. Um, Continuing on, let's get to some picks. So Cody Zeeb, the Zeebster, has an article that is out now, and you're probably reading it, and that's probably what led you to watch this. If not, thanks for subscribing to our YouTube page, which you should have done a fucking long time ago. So the two picks that he wrote about in his article are two guys that obviously we had to talk about tonight. Mr. Sue, would you do us the honor of showing us the first driver that we had?
I'd love to.
That right there is Noah Gragson. He's going to be 11,000 on DraftKings. So you might be wondering, hey, why are we choosing Noah Gragson? Well, technology free. I have some statistics written down right here. He's had some bad finishes at this track. It's no surprise in the past. But you know what? It's time to turn things around. There's a lot of momentum around this young man right here, right now. And he's Noah Gragson. He's got the energy of Tim Richmond and the swag of a zebra going 3,000 miles an hour down a hole of space and time. Like that is Noah Gragson. That's what he is. He's going to be starting in P5 on Saturday, and also he's got a mullet. I don't know if he's got the mullet anymore, I think recently he's got like handlebar. Everybody's doing these handlebar mustaches. I'm proud of them. It's the season of stash. We talked about it on bringing Winston back. Everyone knows. If you haven't watched that show, you should. What the fuck are you doing with your life? But that's Noah, and that's the picture that we have of him, and he's going to be a good play on Sunday. The momentum is strong. He's got races to win. He's going for the championship. Thank you for holding that up, Mr. Sue. Mr. Sue, would you like to comment on I'll ask that one more time. I know it came out a little fast. Mr. Sue, would you like to comment on Noah Gragson? You might not know a lot about NASCAR, but if you had to make a solid point about who that man was on that photo right there, what would you say?
I can't see through the jacket, even though it's zipped all the way down. But I'll bet you he's got at least one nipple pierced, and that's not a judgment for me. That actually really boosts somebody up in my book. So if I was going to bet on anybody, I nipple piercing goes a long way for me.
All right, big rump springer guy from the Quaker Farm, nipple piercing. Do you have any piercings?
I wanted to get my nose pierced, but someone told me that I've got a kind of like a Squidward nose situation, and it won't work, so I didn't do it.
What if you bought a clarinet?
Um, I'm not a woodwinds or any kind of like air instrument. I'm not good at it.
You know, like reeds?
It just can't make any noise.
Mm. I remember when I was a kid, I had a saxophone, and every time I had to put a reed on it, like it would grind my teeth and it'd make me feel all weird inside.
I don't think I've ever had a reed in my mouth. So maybe I didn't know.
I'm sorry for pulling this away from your face. You want to try it one more time?
You know, we all try, brother.
We all try, brother. That's going to lead us into our next pick that Cody Zeeb had for us on the site. And that would have to be a good friend of the show, Sheldon Creed, a.k.a. Sheldonian. Look at him there with those Buddy Holly shades on. This is a man with a plan. He's going to be 8.6K on DraftKings this Saturday in the Kansas Lottery 300. Why do we like Sheldon? I don't even have to read off of this notebook paper where I've written down some notes. I'm just going to tell you off the hip. He came very close to finishing and winning the race at Darlington. I feel like right now, the tides should changing for Sheldon. He's feeling like it's time to shine. It's time to grind. This is a track that, he likes to whip. It's a fast track. Sheldon's a fast man. He lives life in the fast lane at times. You might not see it, out there on the streets, but, that's who he is. He's a great guy. We love him. And I think it's time for Sheldon to go fast. He's going to be starting P3. The averages look decent. I say he comes out with a top 5 finish in this race on Saturday. So, therefore, I'm going to want to have him in some lineups, maybe in some single entries. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I might do a little bit of multipliers, put some Sheldon in them multipliers. Ain't nobody going to probably play Sheldon. He's P3. Everybody's going to say, where's the value in this? Well, that's where I say they're fucking suckers and chumps. And that's why I'm going to play Sheldon. So that's who you should play too. Let's go ahead and run that one back. You're not a big NASCAR guy. You're trying. How fast have you went in any vehicle in your life, and what is the fastest vehicle you've ever been in?
I did like 111 in the desert in Boise once. We bought a Queen best of CD from Walmart. And we took a wrong turn and it was just straight the whole time. And so we pushed it to 111 in a Mitsubishi.
Like a Lancer or an Evo?
I don't know what it was. It was a little red car with a big spoiler.
One time, me and my friends saw a Subaru Outback in a Walmart parking lot, and all I could imagine was just taking that on like a dumpster ride where I went off of a cliff, but then landed on the wheels, and I didn't have to go to a hospital.
Not in a Subaru Outback. Those are not built to last.
That's exactly why, though. You think about it. Imagine if someone put some rocket shoes on that car. You know what I'm saying? Have like some Craddock boosters on the back of it. Pop off a little top. You know about Craddock boosters?
I know about Kratom and how that boosts people.
I'm going to stop you there, Mr. Sue. Let's go ahead and move on. One more pick for the debut. And you know what? We may do some more NASCAR Xfinity stuff on this show. I'm thinking it's time we get a little explorative. There's not many people out here talking about NASFinity DFS or NAS Trucks DFS, and I think that it needs a little bit more love. Mr. Sue, don't you think that that more people should watch trucks race?
I think you got to watch trucks race. Trucks were probably the first thing out there racing, right?
Not necessarily, but trucks are fun to watch. I mean, if you think about time, every vehicle was essentially a truck in the 1900s.
That's what I'm saying. So they have to be the first to have been getting raced.
I think it was more along the lines of like Indy cars. They kind of were these like bubble cars that they built, and they didn't really know what was happening. But I'm sure someone at some point raced a car that looked like a truck, like mobsters. I feel like mobsters in Chicago raced a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely, they did.
I think I was one in a past life. Like I had a Tommy gun and I talked like fake. I don't think that was their real like, yeah, see? I don't think that was how they really talk. I think that when they went home, they were like, Cheryl, it's been a rough day. But when they were in public, they were like, yeah, I'll cut you in the face, see? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think they absolutely did that. I think that was all the time, and that's kind of why I like them.
Genuine mobsters of Chicago, 1920s, racing Model Ts? Yeah.
Model T's. Let's go ahead and give a shout out. What was his name? The John Dillinger. Let's get a John Dillinger shout out.
Shout out to John Dillinger. Is he a Quaker?
No, he was like a 20s mobster. He didn't talk like in the movie, but
The only ones I ever really knew a lot about were in cartoons. So shout out to Billy the Kid, though. I know him. He has nothing to do with Chicago
Different
or
era.
mobsters, yeah. But shout out to him. He would have raced cars.
Mhm.
All right, so let's talk about this last guy. Riding off of Mustache Energy, it's got to be Brett Moffitt at 7.1K, aka Brett, as we have him listed here. Brett's a great guy. He can drive fast. He's starting P16. This is a place differential potential right here. The 5 lap averages looked excellent. And if we get to where I think we're going to be in this race, where we're coming up to about 10 or so to go, we're going to have some cautions. And cautions breed cautions. And this is where Brett's going to be able to whip work. You're going to want to have some Brett Moffitt in your lineup, so don't forget it. So that's 3 guys right there. And this one wasn't written about. So this is the Garage Guy special. Or maybe we'll call it the Mr. Sue special. The Mr. Sue special on this show is Brett Moffitt at 7.1K. And that is who we're going to be playing. That's 3 picks right there for your lineups, and you can find out the other 3 by joining the Garage Guys Discord. Because there'll be a lot. There'll be more than 3. Everyone's going to be talking about lineups tomorrow, so make sure you get them in. So that was great. How do you feel about Brett?
Brett's one of my lesser favorite names. He doesn't have as big of a mustache as I want, and he's kind of got a baby face thing going on, but that just tells me that he's got a lot to prove out there on race day.
Well, you heard that, Brett. Sorry, Mr. Sue thinks that you got a little bit of work to do, but hey, hopefully he'll make up that tomorrow with a nice top 5 finish.
My first crush in my whole life was Winona Ryder in Beetlejuice. Not Winona Ryder in general, specifically in Beetlejuice.
To that, I just want to say, shake, 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 Sonora, shake your body right. Work, 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 Sonora, work it all the time. I loved her.
And we're going to hope that Brett is able to shake it a little bit out on race day.
There we go. Brett Moffitt, a.k.a. Winona Ryder. All right, so let's get ready to move in to the meat and potatoes. No practice and qualifying has went down yet. This show is coming out. Practice and qualifying is happening. This is where the Wizard of Winston, Garage Guy, comes out to make some predictions. We're going to see if these are right or if these are wrong. This is going to be a fun time. So go ahead and watch this and be ready to roast me or not roast me. Praise me or roast me. Don't care either way. It's not hard to ignore comments, but I like when you write them. So let's go ahead and talk about it. NASCAR Hollywood Casino 400. Before we even dive into these 4 guys that I think are going to do well, they're going to qualify in positions that we need them to qualify, and they're going to get us the points that we need them to get us. I have to ask, this race is the Hollywood Casino 400 presented by Barstool Shop. The Spider and the boys, they're going to be down in Kansas. Mr. Sue, have you ever been to a casino? And do you have a fun story about it? You seem like a pretty adventurous guy since you left the Quaker farm.
I went to a casino in rural Montana, and we all had our hoods up because it was cold outside, and we really only went there because we heard that we could smoke inside, and we wanted to see what that was like. The big no hood rules in casinos, so we didn't get very far. We like lit our cigarettes, and then we had like six guys come up, and they were very pissed off at us, and we had to kind of beg them to let us stay in the casino because I think they thought we were going to do some shady shit.
Yeah, you're like kind of like loitering with your hood on.
Yeah, they were really just like, why do you think we have cameras? Take the hoods off, boys. I warmed up. It was all right.
Yeah, before I quit drinking, I used to go to casinos just to get free alcohol because I was an
Hmm.
alcoholic. You ever done that?
I didn't know that they did that until I went to that casino. They'll just give you like a little Bud Light.
Yeah, it's way cheaper than a bar. $20 gets you a long way at a casino if you play the penny slots.
But you gotta be putting money in. I mean, I don't know how.
You just gotta sit there and milk it. You milk your time, you get real fucked up, and have to call Uber.
I think that's what happens.
Yeah, that's why I don't drink anymore. So let's go ahead and talk about some NASCAR drivers for this race. First guy we're gonna bring up has got to be, you got him here,
Got it right here.
great guy, Bill's boy. That's right, Chase Elliott, 10.1K is going to be the play, and I feel like it's going to be the play of the week. Not only am I going to be hard on Chase Elliott to do well in this race, but I'm also going to be hard pressed on betting on this man to win this race. He had an abysmal finish at Darlington. That's because of a wreck. The car was just not good. It wasn't set up great, and it sucked because he had a great car with a great meaning and a great purpose. And I just know that with Chase Elliott dipping down ninth in the points. Now, nine's a good number. We like it. Shout out to the 9 days of giveaways on Hooters Racing right now. Which, by the way, if you haven't checked that out, you should. And also, while we're on the subject of Bill's boy, Chase Elliott, number 9, that's going to be racing the Hooters car at Bristol next week, talking about the 9 days of giveaways. Go follow Hooters Racing. Let's also tell you who the show is brought to you by. It's brought to you by Hooters. And right now, if you get over to Hooters and you use promo code Garage Guys, you can save $10 on any $30 order when you order off the Hooters app or from order.hooters.com. And that offer is valid at participating locations for delivery and carryout orders only. But wait, there's more. You can also order that to go. You can save $10 on any $40 order when you dine in as well. Okay, that offer is valid only at HOA locations, and you can't use it for anything but food, and that's how it goes. So just remember that. But promo code Garage Guys is the way to go when you eat at Hooters, and Bill's boy at 10.1K is the way to go in your DFS lineups this week. I want to say that he's going to probably qualify somewhere inside of the top 10. Still going to be a solid play. He's going to be fast. Kansas has been good for him. Now, granted, he didn't have a good finish here earlier in the year, but I do think that we're going to see the Tide turn around a little bit. They've had time to figure some things out, make some changes. I'm ready to see Chase Woodwork this week, and I'm also going to bet on him to win this race. So that's a pick right there that you got without having to go to my Action Network page. So be grateful. And that's all we got for there. So that's a great mustache on that man, and I feel like he does a lot better when he has a mustache. Would you recommend that he shave that mustache?
No, he's the coolest looking I've seen so far. Also, just really quick, I've been thinking about it, looking at all these guys critiquing them. It's only fair that I think about who I would be as a NASCAR rider. And I don't know if these guys name their cars, but I've decided I would name mine the Winona Rider.
Mm. You a big fan of Stranger Things?
Oh yeah,
How do you feel about Winona Ryder now?
love, obsessed.
Mm.
Yeah, still great.
That's not a bad name for a car. What would you do? Like, would Winona Ryder? Would you want her to be your crew chief?
Yes. Or really, I just kind of would like her to like ride in the car with me and tell me stories.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
She could just do that, you know. But you're not a big technology guy, so she'd have to be in the car actually.
But that could be kind of charming. Like I don't have a phone. Like you need to drive me to the bank. Like I don't have a phone.
Driving Mr. Sue. That'd be a great movie.
Hmm.
Winona Ryder would actually race the car, and you just kind of ride there, but you would be the driver.
And I could sweep her off her feet.
Ooh, Winona. Shout out to the Winona Ryder, Mr. Sue himself. There he is. Let's go ahead and talk about this next driver here, guys. It's gotta be another great mustache man, Bubba Wallace, Darrell Wallace Jr. He's 8K on DraftKings this week. He's gonna be driving the 45. So a little bit of notes that I've prepared here. The note that I have on Bubba is Yoda's strong. And that's about as deep as we're going to get there. You know, he's driving this 45 car. He's trying to get this championship for the car itself. It's a team championship, car championship for the points. He's in the 45 because his head hurts. Kurt's head hurt. That could be a rap song, Mr. Sue. But you know, we like Bubba. We want to see Bubba do well, and I feel like this is a race that Bubba could actually contend for a win. So we've already seen him get the pole at Michigan this year. I might be looking to see about him possibly getting the pole in the 45 car for this race this week. I don't know yet. We'll see. I might have to get some qualifying bets in. If you watch this in time, maybe you can do it as well. I might go have to look. I'm going to respect your technology, stuff, and I'll wait until when the show is over to check out those odds. But whatever those odds are, I probably take them. So just keep that in mind for the poll, Bubba Wallace. We're just going to go ahead and throw it out there. All right, so how do you feel about Bubba with that mustache?
I think Bubba's my favorite so far, but I really don't like the DoorDash. Not that I have a thing against DoorDash. I just kind of wish he had a cooler brand.
Well, so he also has Dr. Pepper.
That's definitely better.
Also, Michael Jordan owns the team. Michael Jordan owns that team. And he comes to races sometimes and stares with them dead eyes at people, just guns them down.
His eyes are like yellow now.
What do you think caused that?
Probably fucking drinking and smashing all the time and working too hard. And
Maybe you let his eyeballs smoke cigars. They say your
he
lungs
smokes
get
so many fucking cigars.
the big gar guy. Do you think that if cigar smoking was a sport, he would contend?
No, because I actually think that there would probably be people that were like way better than him at doing it. And if he can't be the best, I don't think he would do it.
Sucks to suck, Michael. All right, so let's go on to our next driver. Um, so this guy right here, we don't really talk about him a whole lot, but you gotta kind of talk about him. Austin Cindric. He's 7.5K on DraftKings this week. Some notes that I have about him here. He finds a way. Austin Cindric typically has done pretty well. Kansas has been a good track for him. The Fords suck cock at this track. Let's be real. Earlier in the year, especially, but he was the guy that kind of came out on top. So I feel like he'll find a way again. He finished 11th at this track earlier in the season. The temperature will be a little bit different in Kansas. Don't really know how that'll affect the racing much. Probably a decent amount. But if I had to bet on another Ford guy, maybe top Ford, I'd probably go with Austin Cindric. Also, DFS, I think he's going to be a great guy. He'll probably qualify in the top 15. It's almost a guarantee, but it's 7.5K. I'm willing to take that as a good mid-tier guy. Not really much else to say about him other than, just really don't like looking at his face. So that's about it. What do you think about Austin Cindric's face?
He looks kind of like a youth counselor at a church, like a youth pastor that like doesn't let you kind of get away with cool shit.
Get away with cool shit as a youth pastor. So Austin Cindric's a youth pastor that gets away with cool shit.
No, doesn't let you do cool shit.
Doesn't let you do cool shit. So he's like a controlling fuck that is probably he would get caught up one day for doing some fucked up shit at a church.
No, he more like monitors the lunch line, and he's like only like one meatball per person for the spaghetti. Like, kind of that shit.
Yeah, he's got big hall monitor vibes. Fuck that guy. All right, let's go ahead and talk about our last driver. Great friend, great man, ready to see him get to rocking and rolling. It's Ricky. It's Ricky, bitch. Like Britney, you like Britney Spears, Mr. Sue?
I love Brittany.
Yeah. It's Ricky, bitch. That's right. 6.3K on DraftKings this week. I hope DraftKings like literally gets drowned in debt by how much they fucked up pricing this man. This guy right here had a top 10 finish at Kansas earlier in the year. It's a track that he does typically well at. These intermediates, I'm telling you, Ricky's got some shit figured out here. And I really think that they've fucked up majorly. This is going to be one of the best plays of the week. Count on it. I'm not even if something crazy happens and Austin Cindric takes him out, like I would, it would just infuriate me even more. I would probably at that point like go talk to some voodoo people here in New Orleans about what we could do for Austin Cindric, but it's not gonna happen, okay? Because Ricky Stenhouse is gonna fly to the moon. He's gonna Frank Sinatra that shit. It's gonna be incredible. Some notes that I do have here. He finished 8th, so I did tell you the top 10. He finished 8th at this track earlier in the year. Just highly impressive. Great man. Great human being. Love him to death. It's his time to shine. Make sure you got some Ricky Stenhouse in your lineups this week. So I guess for this, since that's our last driver, we're going to be talking about Mr. Sue. What do you think? What do you make of Ricky here? Obviously, he's sponsored by Noss and Kroger. You might not know as much about him. I've actually spent a lot of time with this man right here. I've done a lot of things with him. What's your take on him by looking at this photo?
Ricky definitely seems like he's got the chillest vibe. I like a nice energy too. I feel like they get kind of shit on, but they'll get the job done, and they're kind of hilarious, and especially when it's being drank by a driver. I think that's funny. Also, Porches has that song Range Rover, and at the end he goes, Ricky Range Rover, you're riding it. And I love that song, and I think the name Ricky's kind of funny, and I'm going to put Ricky in my top 3.
Ricky's in the top 3 for Mr. Sue. That is a huge, huge thing right there. You know, there's not a lot of people in the world that have gotten graced by Mr. Sue's top 3. If you don't know much about Mr. Sue's top 3, go ahead and just Google Mr. Sue's top 3. You'll find everything you need to know.
Well, they know what number. They know one of them already. They're really just looking at 2.
Right. So you got Winona Riders there, and you got Ricky Stenhouse in the top 3 now. So you got to Google Mr. Sue's top 3 to find out who is Mr. Sue's second.
Who's got that silver medal?
Yeah, that's it. I'm also going to talk to Ricky now about getting a Range Rover. I think that's a big deal.
That's a good song too. Just by the way, that was the song of the summer 2 years ago.
The song of the summer, right there. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful life. Here live from a hotel in New Orleans with Mr. Sue. We just talked some NASCAR DFS on a couch, technology free, almost, except for this thing that I'm holding here in my hand. Hey, thanks so much for being a part of the show, Mr. Sue. Really appreciate it.
It's an honor. This is the only podcast I listen to outside of that Mark Maron one where he just will not stop swearing.
Lot of cursing in that one. Well, Mr. Sue, I don't know about you, but it's been a long day. I'm probably about to go crawl in this bed over here. You need me to catch you a cab or anything?
No, I'm just going to probably walk to the French Quarter.
It's kind of a long way. You sure you don't want me to well, I can't get you an Uber, no technology. Maybe we can call up a couple of friends, get a horse and buggy for you?
If you can.
Well,
If you can, the hotel probably has a connection.
All right, I'll use a landline. We'll make sure it works out. Well, that's all the time we have here, guys. Remember, as always, follow us at Garage Guys FS collectively. You can follow me at Garage Guy Chase. You can follow Mr. Sue by Googling Mr. Sue's top 3. And then other than that, make sure you watch Bringing Winston Back. Make sure you're checking out Dale Center. And make sure you watch us on Playback this weekend. The brand new service revolutionizing streaming, and we are the revolutionaries for the motorsports on Playback. So it's a beautiful life, and we love it. All right, so that's all the time we have. And we'll see you later. Go win some money, motherfuckers.